Wonderful. Thank you.
So, welcome. So, you see, if we want pleasure, we contact the expert of giving us the knowledge of the pleasure. If we want to earn wealth, we want to contact our wealth expert. If we want to save our skin from the conflicts, then we need to contact our lawyer. But if the mind continues to suffer from fears, sense of attachment, passion, then in order to understand this, we have to contact the teacher of the Eastern wisdom. That is one way to say it. If we are frustrated going to the doctor, frustrated going to the lawyer, going to. So that sense of frustration on one hand, and the mind is constantly looking for something that can give me the peace of mind. The Eastern wisdom is there for us. That is how. So you see that those people who get totally frustrated in their life, they have spent thousands of dollars, and then they say, see that I have not been able to sleep for so many weeks and months. Do you remember the one guy who used to come in the Princeton who says, no, I cannot sleep, I have not been sleeping, and every time he used to do the practice and he
Oh
started
yes,
snoring.
I know. I that's true.
He started snoring.
I remember him.
don't
Yes.
believe. I don't believe, but we all witnessed that he was snoring. So when we do not go to the right expert, but if the mind is overwhelmed with our idea, our thought that if I'm obsessed with the body, I go to the medical doctor. If I'm obsessed with lot of conflicts, expertise is the lawyer. But if the problem is coming from my past impressions, so what is that past impression? That I don't know. So what we say in our Eastern wisdom, that as we take birth, we have a vasana. Vasana literally means that is dwelling deep inside us at the unconscious level. So it means we are born with certain traits, certain habits, certain ideas, certain notions, full of ignorance. So when the seed, the vasana is known as the seed. So when that seed takes growth, it becomes the tree, and that tree is known as past impressions. And these past impressions, when they trigger, it becomes a thought pattern. Thought says, what should I do? I am a gone case. I am suffering. I have no problem. I have all the problems in my life. So you see that we don't recognize what is causing exactly the problem, but getting obsessed with something outside, then there is no solution. And gradually, when we are frustrated, then we say, oh, can you help me? Yes, we can help you. We have understood you. So this entire process, or I would say this entire vasana, I explained the vasana, impression, thought, and from the thought, we have a craving, we have a passion, we have an excitement. That entire all the set of impressions is known as swadharma in Eastern wisdom. Swadharma, it is my personal trait with the accumulation of all those impressions. Science also says it is the DNA of your parents that takes the shape, that molds your body, your personality, and your traits. So they talk at the physical level purely. DNA is matter, material, protein molecule. We talk at little deeper level, at the psychological level. Those psychology, and even deeper than the psychological level, that shapes our life, our problems, our physical and the mental challenges that we suffer. First point, that is known as swadharma, my personal traits, that is growing. Now question comes, then there is the dharma. Dharma normally translated as religion, but it is not a religion. We say it is your essential nature, and that essential nature cannot be undone. It is always present, it is everlasting, it is pure consciousness. The more the essential nature manifests in our physical, mental, emotional life, better it is. It removes that swadharma, the personal traits that are negative, which has come from this birth and the previous birth. So, what happens? The time comes when we start understanding the layers of ignorance which is causing the trigger in the mind, causes lot of thought pattern, and the thought pattern reshapes my body, which is, science says, what is that? Psychosomatic challenges. So our master says that, can you get rid of these impressions in your mind or accumulated deeper inside? You can get rid of at least 80 or 90% of the manifest illnesses in our body or in our mind. I had one student who brought her aunt in India, and she had red, red spots throughout the body, including her on the face, on the cheeks, and the entire body. And it used to cause lot of itching. So I said, "Oh, let me understand the problem." And it has been for the last 8 or 9 years. But at the outset, I realized that she is very shy, timid, scared, and full of fears. So, my first intuition was that let us understand her. So, what happened in her life? At a very young age, she got married, and her husband scared us, used to beat her for all kinds of stuff. And after a few years, she developed those rashes. And many doctors, when she went to many doctors, no treatment, rather more allergic reaction. So I realized that, can I help her to get out of the fear and the anxiety completely from her mind? And I worked for almost 6 months, and gradually all those scars and the rashes disappeared completely. She became totally, after 3 months, she became totally devoted. Her fears have gone. She stood up. And I always told her that you need not to focus your attention on your husband, what trauma you have undergone. First, take care of yourself. And then we will see what can be done. And then you can approach the lawyer. So don't ever think of the lawyer. Her mind became totally pure, and she got rid of all the scars.
And
She is
perhaps,
still alive. She is still alive, around 72, 73 years of age. And her that student of mine also immigrated to US, and she is perhaps in Delaware. She is
oh,
CPA.
oh,
So she came couple of times in New Jersey to meet me.
did she
So
divorce or not?
No, she did not divorce. Rather, she pushed herself. She said, "No, you cannot now slap me. No physical
Oh,
violence at all.
yeah.
And I will continue to live in that house. I have two beautiful daughters. I have to take care. I don't want my daughters should have anxiety for separation. So you have to take care of yourself, and I will take care of myself." She became very bold, at the same time, very kind. I told her that you have to take care of your husband, means you perform your duty. In the as a Indian women, what the Indian women, you cook your food and you offer it. That's all. And if he approaches kindly, respond to him. If he does not, no need. You are already there, independent. So now, at a much later stage, I heard that he realized his mistake.
Oh,
So she told the story couple of times to her husband that, see, that beer guy took care of me.
huh.
And this is what happened. I did not take any medicine. So this is because of you. But this is also because of me, because I got scared, and in the state of the fear, I did not find any solution. My mind was blocked, so I continued to live with the fear and anxiety, and the fear of violence. So she realized, she learned a lot from me. She continued for, even after 6 months, she continued coming to my sessions. And she what now she is teaching to her daughters, this is the way you have to live. So you see that two part of it. One is the swadharma. Swadharma means I'm born with certain traits. I have certain craving, passion, attachment, detachment. Now add all of them. It creates a different personality in me. And that personality, if it is more of the passion, duality, and a conflict, and a fear, and the anxiety, causes many disorders, which the science proves it is basically a psychosomatic disorder. 90% of our illnesses are caused by the stress induced disorders. The
Hmm.
stress are of many kinds. But
Right.
the doctors are not aware that we talk of the essential nature, real nature. If that takes over, it erases all these impressions and you start living a better life. So you see that if we are ignorant of the principles of the Eastern wisdom, we should understand. If we have doubt about it, we should contemplate and reflect. And if we have those traits in our mind and the body, we should practice meditation. So the entire journey of meditation is based on these premises. It is not that, okay, we'll close our eyes in doing the practice. A lot of people say that, oh, focus on the breath. No, unless we have a right knowledge, right understanding, then only we can do that practice.